My son, listen carefully, because today I come to your house with a message that will bring hope into the middle of your darkest night. Yes, before the sun rises, before this night comes to an end, I am already working. I know you are going through a dark night, a hard season, a time when it feels like the light will never come. But today I remind you of what my word says. Weeping may remain through the night, but joy comes with the morning. Your night has an ending, and the sunrise I prepared for you is very near. So do not turn away from this message, because every word you hear is part of what I am doing in your life before morning arrives. It is not by accident that you are here. I arranged everything so that tonight, at this exact moment, you would be standing before my voice. I have seen your night. I have seen the long dark hours you have lived through, the nights when you could not sleep because your burdens were too heavy, the days that felt like night because you could not find the light. I have watched you wait for a sunrise that seemed delayed. I have seen you wonder when this dark season would finally end and when hope almost faded away. But I want you to know this. I specialize in working during the night. Some of my greatest works happened in the darkness before the morning, when everything looked hopeless. Tonight I have come to work in your life. I want you to understand something about dark nights. My word speaks about the fourth watch of the night. At time just before sunrise is the darkest and coldest part of the night, when it feels as though morning will never come. It was during that fourth watch, in the deepest darkness, that I walked across the sea toward my disciples while they struggled against the storm. I did not come at the beginning of the night. I came in its darkest hour, just before dawn. So if you are in the darkest part of your night, if you feel like you cannot go any farther, be encouraged, because that is often the very moment when I appear. The darker the night becomes, the closer my intervention is. It is no accident that you are listening to these words right now. Tonight I arranged every circumstance so that at this exact hour you would hear my voice, precisely when you most needed to know that morning is near. Others passed by this message, but you stopped, and it was my hand that brought you close to me in your night. This is a time of a night visitation, when I bend over your darkness to announce that morning is coming. The fact that you found these words tonight was not luck. It was my way of telling you, hold on, my son, because the dawn I prepared for you is already close. I want you to know that I do some of my greatest works while the world is asleep. It was during the night that I divided the Red Sea. It was during the night that I passed through Egypt and set my people free. It was during the night that I sent my angel into Peter's prison and brought him out. It was at daybreak that I rose from the tomb. The night has never been a barrier for me. In fact, it is often where I perform my greatest miracles. So do not be afraid of the night you are living through, because it is often in the darkness that I do what amazes everyone when morning comes. Remember what I said in my word. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will come in. Tonight I am knocking at your door while it is still dark. I have not come to leave you in the night, but to stay with you until the morning arrives. That gentle feeling in your heart, that hope slowly rising that a new day is coming, that is me calling you. Open your heart to me. Let me enter your night, because when I enter someone's darkness, it is no longer a lonely night, but the beginning of a new dawn. Wherever I am, light always follows. I know there were times when the night made you wonder if I was still working. In the darkness you could not see anything, so you believed nothing was happening, that I had become silent, and that your situation would never change. But not seeing the light does not mean I have stopped working. Many times, while you saw only darkness, I was working with care, putting every piece into place and preparing your morning. The night is where I prepare my greatest surprises. It is where I work on what will later be seen in the light. So do not judge my work by what you can see in the dark. Trust that I am working even when you cannot see it, and before the morning comes you will witness the result. Brothers and sisters, YouTube has demonetized this channel. Every video is now made at our own cost with zero ad revenue. Every script, edit, and upload is done by a real team serving this ministry with their time and skills, not for a paycheck, but out of love for God and for you. Without your support, continuing this work becomes incredibly difficult. If this ministry has brought value to your life, now is your chance to invest back and help keep the Word of God reaching the world. If these messages have ever moved you or strengthened your faith, please support us on Ko-Fi. Even a small gift goes a long way. The link is pinned in the comments. If you are watching on TV, open your phone camera and scan the QR code on screen. It takes you straight to our support page. Pray over it, and if God leads you, give. Thank you. Right now I want you to take one step of faith that opens your life to what I do during the night. Like this video and share it. Do not do it without thinking. Do it as a declaration that says, "Yes, Lord, I believe you will change my story before morning comes." When you choose to obey in small things, I release greater things. And as you do, something begins to move in the spiritual world. What I prepared for your morning starts to appear. Now listen carefully, because I am about to show you 4 things I do before the dawn. First, before the morning I calm your storm. Second, before the morning I turn your struggle into blessing. Third, before the morning I open your prison. Fourth, before the morning I send your answer. I will explain each one, but you need to stay until the end, because every work I do in the night is connected to a part of this message. Many people hear only the beginning and leave before the morning comes. Do not be one of them. Stay, because your dawn is very close. The first thing I do before the morning comes is calm your storm. I know you are in the middle of a storm right now. The waves of your problems seem ready to cover you. The wind keeps growing stronger, and you feel like the boat of your life is about to sink. You have been rowing with all your strength against the storm until you became tired, and the shore seems farther away than ever. But today I tell you this: before the morning comes, I calm your storm. I am the one who walks on the water, the one who tells the wind and the sea, "Be quiet, be still," and everything becomes calm. Remember my disciples in the boat, struggling against the wind during the 4th watch of the night. They were tired and making no progress. It was in that darkest hour that I came to them, walking across the sea. The moment I stepped into the boat, the wind stopped, and they quickly reached the shore they had been trying to reach. Look at what happened in the darkest part of the night. I arrived, calmed the storm, and brought them safely to their destination. That is what I do for you. In the darkest part of your night, I come into your boat, quiet your storm, and lead you to the place that once seemed so far away. Your storm will not last forever. Before the morning comes, peace will arrive. I want you to understand that although I sometimes allow the storm, I never leave you alone in it. I was in the boat with my disciples even when I seemed to be asleep. My silence during your storm does not mean I have left you. Many times I am much closer than you realize, and at the right moment I rise and calm what has been shaking your life. So even if you feel alone in your storm, even if it seems as though I am silent, I am still with you in the boat. At the perfect time I will speak to your storm, and you will see what frightened you bow before my voice. Tonight I declare peace over your storm. I declare that the opposing wind comes to an end, that the waves become calm, and that the boat of your life reaches a safe shore. I declare that the peace beyond all understanding fills your situation, because I have authority over every storm, and none is too powerful to obey my word. Rest, because before the morning comes there is peace. I want you to understand that there are two ways I calm a storm. Sometimes I remove the storm itself by changing your circumstances. Other times I calm the storm inside you by giving you a peace beyond understanding even while the storm continues outside. Both are my work, and both carry the same power. So if tonight your circumstances have not yet changed, let me first quiet your heart with a peace the world cannot give or take away. The one who has peace in the middle of the storm has already overcome its greatest power. That inner peace often comes before the outward calm that arrives with the morning. I also want you to know that your storm is not proof that you failed or that God has abandoned you. Even my faithful disciples faced storms because I was the one who sent them across the sea. Sometimes storms come not because you wandered away, but because you stayed obedient. So do not see your storm as punishment or as a sign that you have been left behind. Many times the storm is simply the place where I choose to reveal my power by calming it. Beyond every storm there is a shore, a destination, and a purpose. I did not lead you into the storm so you would sink. I brought you into it so I could lead you safely to the place I prepared for you. I also want you to use your faith while the storm is still raging, because faith is what welcomes my work. When I told Peter to come to me on the water, he walked on the waves while keeping his eyes on me, doing what seemed impossible in the middle of the storm. The storm will never have the final word over your life. Your faith joined with my power is stronger than any storm you face. So while the wind blows and the waves rise, do not keep your eyes on them. Keep your eyes on me. Believe even when the storm grows stronger. Trust even when everything shakes, because the one who keeps trusting me during the storm will see peace where peace once seemed impossible. I also want you to know that many times, when the storm feels strongest, I am closest to calming it. In the boat, the wind became worse, water rushed in, my disciples cried out in fear, and everything looked finished. It was exactly at the highest point of the storm that I stood up and made it quiet. So if your storm feels like it has reached its limit, if you think you cannot endure any longer, do not see it as the end. See it as the sign that I am about to rise and calm everything. The strongest moment of the storm is often the moment just before peace arrives, because I often move when it seems there is no way forward. I also want you to learn to rest while the storm is still around you. I slept in the boat because my rest was not carelessness. It was complete confidence in the outcome. I already knew the storm would not have the final word, and that is why I rested peacefully. I want to teach you to do the same, to rest even while the storm continues. Not because the storm is imaginary, but because you trust that I remain in control. Resting during the storm is one of the greatest signs of faith, and it often comes before the calm. Rest in your boat, my son, because the one who calms every storm is right there with you. I also want you to remember that after every storm I calm, I bring you to a destination. After the storm ended, my disciples immediately reached the shore they had been traveling toward. The storm was never their destination. It was only the road that led them there. In the same way, your storm is not your final place. It is only the path leading you to the purpose I have prepared. On the other side of the quieted storm there is a shore, a place of blessing, and the future I planned for you. So do not focus only on seeing the storm end. Remember that I calm it so I can bring you safely to the place, the purpose, and the destination where I want you to arrive. And you will arrive because the one who calms your storm is also the one who safely leads you home. I also want you to know that even while the storm is still raging, your boat will not sink because I am inside it. Many boats are lost during storms, but the boat where I am will never go down, no matter how fierce the wind becomes. My son, I am in the boat of your life. So even if the waves rise around you, even if the water seems to pour inside, your boat will not sink. The one who calms every storm is with you. Rest in that truth, As long as I am in your boat, and I am, no storm will destroy it. Instead, it will carry you safely to the shore I prepared for you. I also want you to understand that the storm has revealed your faith, and it will also reveal my power. Storms bring out what is hidden in the heart. Your storm showed your dependence on me, your cries, and your faith. Just as it revealed your faith, it will also reveal my power when I calm it. So everyone will know there is a God who rules over every storm. Your storm is not only a test. It is the place where your faith and my power are displayed together for the glory of my name and for the amazement of those who watch me bring you through it. On the other side of this peaceful sea, many people will know that you serve a mighty God. Remember this every time another storm comes into your life. No storm is louder than my voice. With one word I calm the raging sea, and with one word I can quiet every storm you face. So when the storm grows stronger, do not look at its strength. Look at my voice because it has all authority. You will see that even the wildest storm obeys my command. It becomes quiet when I speak because I am the Lord over every storm, and none of them, no matter how great, can stand against the power of my voice when I say, "Be still." Be quiet. The second thing I do before morning comes is turn your struggle into blessing. I know you have been fighting like Jacob fought through the entire night. You have wrestled in the darkness with fear, difficult situations, and hard circumstances without seeing the end. You have fought until you became tired, wondering if the battle would ever finish. But I want to remind you what happened with Jacob because his story is also your story. Jacob wrestled with me through the whole night, and as dawn began to appear, he refused to let go. He said, "I will not let you go unless you bless me." Just before the morning arrived, I changed his struggle into a blessing. I gave him a new name, and he came out of that night transformed. This is what I will do for you. The struggle that has lasted through your night will become a blessing before morning comes. Do not let go of me, just as Jacob refused to let go. Hold on until the dawn appears because the blessing comes just before the morning. Your struggle has not been wasted. It became the place where you held tightly to me, and from it you will come out blessed, changed, and carrying a new name. The night of struggle will give way to a morning of blessing, and you will leave this season not defeated but marked by my favor. I want you to understand that Jacob came out of that night walking with a limp, carrying a mark on his body, but he also carried a blessing and a new name. The struggle left a mark but not one of defeat. It became a reminder of the meeting that changed his life forever. Sometimes your night battles leave marks, scars, and changes in your life, but those marks are not proof that you failed. They show that you met with God, held on to me, and came out transformed. Do not feel ashamed of the marks left by your battles. They are evidence that you stayed close to me during the night and walked away with my blessing. Every mark tells the story of a morning blessing that was born from a night of struggle. I also want you to understand why some battles last through the whole night. It is not because I enjoy watching you struggle. It is because struggle teaches you to hold tightly to me in a way comfort never could. Jacob had never clung to me the way he did that night when he said, "I will not let you go unless you bless me." The struggle produced determination, dependence, and deep closeness with me that comfort would never have created. In the same way, your night battle, although it has been exhausting, is producing something precious within you. It is building a faith that refuses to let go, a determination that stays firm, and a closeness with me that will bless you for the rest of your life. Don't stop fighting before the morning comes, because that is where the blessing arrives. I want to encourage you not to quit when dawn is almost here. The hardest moment in a long battle is usually just before daybreak, when your strength is almost gone and the desire to give up feels the strongest. But that is exactly when the morning begins and the blessing appears. Jacob could have released his grip in the middle of the night because he was tired, and he would have missed the blessing that came at dawn. Do not make that choice. If you have struggled all night and feel like you cannot keep going, stay firm a little longer. Hold on a little longer, because the morning of your blessing is very close. Those who refuse to let go right before dawn are the ones who receive the blessing. I also want you to know that your night battle has brought you closer to me in a special way. During the day, when life is easy and bright, it is simple to forget me. But in the darkness, in the struggle, and in your weariness, you searched for me more than ever and held tightly to me. That closeness born during the night is one of the greatest treasures you will carry from this season. When morning comes, you will not only receive the blessing, you will also have a deeper relationship with me, shaped through the struggle of the night. That closeness with me is worth more than any blessing because it becomes the foundation for a lifetime of walking beside me. I also want you to understand that some blessings only come through a night of struggle. Jacob could have slept peacefully that night and awakened exactly the same as before. But he chose to wrestle, to hold on, and not to let go. Because of that, he rose with a new name and a blessing. In the same way, your night battles, though tiring, are bringing you blessings that comfort could never give. Do not look down on your night of struggle. It is the place where you receive what those who never fought cannot receive. Stay firm until the morning, and you will come out blessed, changed, and forever marked by your meeting with me during the night. I also want you to know that the new name I gave Jacob, Israel, meant that he had struggled with God and with people and had overcome. In the same way, you too will leave this night with a new identity, knowing that you fought and won, not through your own strength but because you held tightly to me. You will not be the same person who entered this night. You will come out with tested faith, strong determination, and the identity of someone who has overcome. Everyone who holds on to me until dawn always comes out victorious and carries for life the mark of having prevailed with God. The third thing I do before dawn is open your prison. I know there are parts of your life where you feel trapped, held inside situations that never seem to change, surrounded by limits that stop you from moving ahead, tied to things that keep you from moving forward. Inside that prison, the nights feel long, and it seems as though freedom will never come. But I want to remind you of Paul and Silas because their story speaks directly to your prison. They were chained deep inside a prison with wounded backs in the darkness of the night. Yet at midnight, instead of complaining, they began to pray and sing psalms of praise. Suddenly an earthquake came. Every prison door opened, and every chain fell away. I noticed that it happened at midnight, in the darkness, while they were worshiping. In the same way, before morning comes, in the middle of your night, I open the doors of your prison and break every chain that holds you. So while you are still inside your prison, begin to pray, begin to sing, begin to worship, because praise in the middle of the night comes before the earthquake that opens your doors. Before the morning comes, you will be set free. I also want you to know that when I open your prison, I do not only free you. When the doors opened for Paul and Silas, they also opened for every prisoner, and that same night the jailer and his whole family were saved. In the same way, your freedom will reach beyond your own life. It will touch the people around you, bless your household, and become a testimony for many. So when I open your prison before dawn, the blessing will not be yours alone. It will also reach everyone connected to your life. I want you to learn the lesson of Paul and Silas, who worshipped while they were in prison. They did not wait until they were freed before they sang. They praised me while still in chains, in the darkness, with wounded backs. Your worship inside the prison came before the earthquake. So do not wait until you are out of your prison to worship me. Worship me while you are still there, in your night and in your chains. Worship inside the prison is a declaration of faith that shakes foundations, opens doors, and breaks chains. Your praise in the night is the key that opens your prison before morning. I also want you to understand that some prisons are outside you, while others are within you, and I set you free from both. There are prisons made by circumstances, and there are prisons inside the heart such as fear, bitterness, unforgiveness, and hopelessness. Many times, before I change the prison around you, I first open the prison within you by giving your heart freedom even if your situation has not changed yet, because a person who is free inside has already overcome the hardest part of the prison. So let me first break the chains around your heart, the chains of fear, resentment, and hopelessness, and you will know a freedom that no situation can take away from you even before your outward circumstances change. I also want you to know that no prison I choose to open can remain shut. I hold the key of David, the one who opens and no one can close. When I decide to free you, no chain is too strong, no door too heavy, and no situation too impossible to stand against my power. So do not measure your freedom by how strong your prison seems, but by the power of the one who opens every door. That power is beside you, working through your night, ready to open before morning what once looked impossible. Your prison has an ending, and that moment is drawing closer with the dawn. Remember Peter chained inside prison, sentenced to die the following day, sleeping between two soldiers. The situation could not have seemed darker, and it was still night. But I sent my angel to wake him, and the chains fell from his hands. The iron gates opened by themselves, and he walked out free while the church kept praying for him through the night. At first Peter believed he was dreaming. In the same way, I will bring you out of your prison before morning while others are praying and while you are barely able to hope for it. Like Peter, you may struggle to believe that you are truly free, but it will not be a dream. It will be my hand opening your prison during the night. I also want you to know that your freedom is often connected to both your own prayers and the prayers of others. The church prayed constantly for Peter, and those prayers came before his release. So keep praying in the night, and let others pray for you too, because prayers offered in the darkness move my hand to open prisons. Never underestimate the power of prayer at night. Many of the greatest acts of freedom began because someone prayed in the darkness. Your prayer during the night is what sends the angel to open your prison. So do not stop praying, do not stop crying out, because every prayer you offer in the night brings your freedom closer. And I want you to know that when I set you free, your freedom will be complete. You will not be partial, temporary, or uncertain. It will be a full freedom that restores your joy, your peace, and your hope. You will leave your prison not crawling as you did after other battles, but standing tall, completely free, and ready to live again. Because when I open a prison, I never do it halfway. I open every door completely and break every chain. So get ready for full freedom, to walk without the chains that held you and to live without the walls that trapped you, because the freedom I bring before dawn is complete. I also want you to know that the earthquake that opened the prison of Paul and Silas happened all at once. It was not a slow change. In one moment everything shook, and the doors flew open. In the same way, your freedom may come suddenly after a long season of waiting. One day you are still in chains, and the next everything changes in an instant. Do not be surprised if your freedom arrives when you least expect it, because I can change your situation in a single moment. Your long night inside the prison can end with one movement of my power, and suddenly you will find yourself free without fully knowing how, only knowing that I did it. Your declaration of faith shakes the foundations. Paul and Silas did not stay silent inside their cell. They prayed and sang aloud, and their voices came before the earthquake. So while you are still in your prison, do not remain silent in defeat. Speak your faith, sing my name, and declare my faithfulness, because your voice of faith in the darkness shakes the foundations of your prison. Say with me even during your night, my God opens prisons. My freedom is coming before dawn. I will be set free. When you speak your freedom with faith while you are still in your prison, you establish it first in the Spirit, and what is established in the Spirit appears when the morning comes. The fourth thing I do before dawn is send your answer. I know you have been waiting for an answer. You prayed, cried, asked, and kept waiting through the night for a reply that seemed delayed. As you waited, the night grew longer, and sometimes you wondered if the answer would ever arrive. But I want you to know that many times, just before dawn, at the perfect moment when hope was almost gone, I send the answer. Just as manna appeared before sunrise, ready to be gathered in the morning, I prepare your answer during the night so you can receive it at dawn. Remember the Assyrian army surrounding Hezekiah with a threat that seemed impossible to defeat. Hezekiah prayed during the night, and before morning I sent my angel who completely solved the problem. When daylight came, the danger had disappeared. The answer had come during the night. Remember Samaria surrounded by famine. Before morning I drove the enemy army away and left behind all their supplies. At dawn the people found abundance where hunger had ruled the night before. This is how I send your answer. I work during the night, and when morning comes, you receive what once seemed impossible. So if you have been waiting for an answer through your night, do not lose heart, because I keep working while you sleep. Many times the answer is already on its way even though you cannot see it yet. Before dawn I send what you have been asking for. Rest, because while you sleep I prepare your answer, and you will wake up to receive what I finished during the night. I want you to understand that sometimes the answer seems delayed because I am preparing something better than what you asked for. Think of Lazarus. My delay made room for resurrection instead of only of healing. In the same way, what looks like a delay is not a refusal but preparation for something greater. Trust that if your answer has taken longer, it is because I am creating something bigger, fuller, and more wonderful than you expected. Waiting through the night is never wasted. It is the time when I prepare an answer that will go beyond your expectations. So do not become discouraged because of the delay. Often the greatest answer is the one that takes the longest to prepare. I also want you to know that none of your prayers during the night have been lost. Every cry you lifted in the darkness reached my throne and was kept there. Sometimes you think those hours were wasted, that your words disappeared into the night without reaching anywhere. But I heard every single one, and none of them has been left unanswered, even if the answer is still making its way to you. Just as I remembered the prayers of Cornelius and answered them, and just as I heard the cries of my people in Egypt and came down to help them, I have also heard every prayer you prayed during the night. At the right time, before the morning comes, you will see the answer. Your prayers in the night were never wasted. They are ready to bring fruit. I want you to receive your answer with expectation instead of doubt. Expectation is faith getting ready to receive. Begin looking forward to your answer, prepare your heart for it, and thank me even before you see it, because those who wait with expectation receive with open hearts that are ready. Do not wait with discouragement, but with joyful confidence that your answer is coming, that it is already on its way, and that you will wake up to receive it. That thankful expectation helps prepare the way for what I have planned, because it tells heaven that you trust my faithfulness, and I answer that faith by bringing your dawn.